All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, folks. We're less than a week away from the start of the NFL draft. The Pittsburgh Steelers have already had a very exciting offseason, and it's about to get even better here. We're going to talk about the draft a little bit later on, but folks, you picked up Russell Wilson, you traded for Justin Fields, you signed future superstar, right now at least minimum star linebacker Patrick Queen. The only people who will ever dispute the fact that Patrick Queen is a rising star linebacker in the National Football League are upset Baltimore Ravens fans. You traded, right? You traded wide receiver number 2, Deontay Johnson, for cornerback Dante Jackson. You picked up some high risers, guys like Quez Watkins, Cordell Patterson, Van Jefferson at the wide receiver position. You signed Dean Lowry, my former Green Bay Packer, Deshaun Elliott. Folks, this Pittsburgh Steelers team, I know they have some needs. I know you need a center. I know you need some offensive tackles. I know you need at least one wide receiver. But folks, especially defensively, the Pittsburgh Steelers have almost zero holes and zero flaws outside of the offensive line and the wide receiver position. Now, they still have over $12 million in cap space, so don't be surprised if you do see, at the time of this recording, like a move like DJ Chark Jr., Brandon Ayuk trade, right? Cortland Sutton trade. All of this stuff is very interesting, and it would not shock me in the slightest if Omar Khan, the GM of the Pittsburgh Steelers, decides to make a trade for a solidified wide receiver 2 to pair up with future star, rising star wide receiver George Pickens and your 2 new quarterbacks, Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. But folks, before we get into tonight's video, we're going to talk mainly about the draft and the Pittsburgh Steelers team and roster in general. Hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. Steelers fans, I know I say this in every video, but you guys are seriously awesome. You guys are just carrying this channel in the dead of the off season. So if we could try and get this video to 500 likes, that would mean the absolute world to me. So I read this excerpt here. General Manager Omar Khan took advantage of 2 nearly unprecedented situations that could have a major impact on the Pittsburgh Steelers' trajectory for years to come. Signing Russell Wilson for just $1.2 million in 2024 gives them an upgrade over Kenny Pickett at a bargain bin price. I know it seems like a long time ago, but this time last year, I was sitting here saying the Pittsburgh Steelers were about to win 13 freaking football games with Kenny Pickett. Obviously, that didn't end up happening. However, nonetheless, even though Kenny Pickett got injured and Matt Canada, the offensive coordinator, got fired, mainly because of the defense and also third-string quarterback Mason Rudolph, but just in general, that defense, man, you won 10 freaking football games. You won 10 football games, and you have a first-round selection, you've got a second-round selection, and you also have 2 third-round picks. So in the last couple of weeks on this channel, we have been talking about trades for Brandon Ayuk. We've been talking about trades for Cortland Sutton. We've been talking about just pickups for DJ Chark, because at the end of the day, folks, Van Jefferson, Quez Watkins, Cordell Patterson, who was more so picked up for special teams, they're nice, but they're very risky. It's a high risk, high reward type of signing. And at the end of the day, even though Quez was really good before A.J. Brown came to Philadelphia and Van Jefferson had a really good sophomore season a couple of years back, I just don't love the situation that they're in. So whether it's going to be an actual trade for Cortland Sutton or Brandon Ayuk, I do just want to make this very clear. Even though Brandon Ayuk doesn't want to be traded, and his agent has come out straightforward and said he doesn't want to trade, and the GM of the San Francisco 49ers has also said, we don't plan on trading him. We're at that point in the offseason, and just in general, this is a business. This is entertainment. Football is a business, and you got to make smart moves. I highly doubt Brandon Ayuk is a 49er at this time next season. And I highly doubt Cortland Sutton is a Denver Bronco at this time next season. What we do know is the Pittsburgh Steelers have interest in at least Brandon Ayuk, and we do know that they want to bring in a veteran-esque wide receiver through the trades. So that leaves us with this. Once again, you've got a middle-of-the-pack first-round pick, later first round. You've got your second round pick, and you have 2 third rounders because of the Kenny Pickett trade to Philadelphia. So I saw this mock draft here, and I think it was from PFF Steelers. Cooper DeJean in round 1. Now, I will just say, it's a risky move, but at the end of the day, I've actually seen some Steelers fans compare him to Troy Polamalu. One thing I do like about Cooper DeJean is it's not a huge need for the Pittsburgh Steelers, the cornerback position. Like, it just isn't huge, especially because of Joey Porter Jr. having a really good rookie season. But you did lose Patrick Peterson, right? However, you traded wide receiver number 2, Deontay Jackson, for a cornerback number 2 in Dante Jackson. But you still need cornerback depth. And no matter, what order the Pittsburgh Steelers do end up drafting, I would just say, if you picked up Cooper DeJean in the first round, your defense, folks, you have TJ Watt, Cam Hayward still, Minkah Fitzpatrick, Alex Highsmith, Patrick Queen, Joey Porter Jr., and Cooper DeJean. This dude loves to tackle. You just don't see too many folks in the NFL on the defensive side of things who love to hit and they love to make plays, right? A lot of people are worried about, staying healthy, and it makes sense from like a personal standpoint. You want to stay healthy to get as much money as possible. You want to impact football games, but at what risk, right? At what level, what degree are you willing to? Cooper DeJean is just a player that I don't see too much coming out of NFL drafts. Kind of reminds me almost of Devin Witherspoon from University of Illinois, who ended up going top, 6th pick to the Seattle Seahawks last year. These guys love to hit. And I know your pressing needs are center and offensive line. But folks, don't be surprised if they do take a gamble, if they do take a risk on a potential star in Cooper DeJean. Now, in this mock draft that I read, it was Cooper DeJean in the first round, Xavier Legette from South Carolina in the second round, and then you went center and offensive tackle in the third round. We have to keep in mind that, I know, Mims is a big priority or, a big target. There are a lot of offensive tackles that a lot of people have the Pittsburgh Steelers selecting in the first round. But I wouldn't be surprised if they decided to wait until the third or fourth round to select their future starting center or their future offensive line. And we also have to keep in mind with the wide receiver selection, Pittsburgh in general, in their entire franchise history, but especially in the last 10 to 15 years, they do such a great job at finding just kind of gems in the rough, however that saying goes, right? And, the third round, fourth round, fifth round. Xavier Legette from South Carolina, this dude would be a stud, 71 catches, over 1,250 yards, 7 touchdowns. He averaged almost 18 yards per catch. I wouldn't be comfortable fully if they decided to go with Xavier and George Pickens as wide receiver 1 and 2, and then let Van Jefferson and Quez Watkins and Calvin Austin III battle it out for wide receiver 3. But I don't think it was that bad of a mock draft. So that's probably our last Steelers video until the draft. So hit that like button, hit that sub button, but most importantly, let me know your thoughts on the first and second round specifically for this upcoming draft for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great rest of your night, and we'll see you soon.